So, let me tell you a story. I was with my friend the other day, and before we met, I started venting to him, just saying, this YouTube channel is not working out, my university studies are not going as planned, my gym progress is great, but I just don't feel any excitement out of it. And when I met him afterwards, realized afterwards that I was just acting in a way that was so. My decisions were based on emotions rather than any logical reasoning, and I thought I had that. I thought I had that locked down in my mind, and I realized afterwards that a lot of the situations that I went through last week was situations where I thought I would handle it better, and I realized that I haven't been applying my wisdom into the real world. And you might be also going through this as well. You probably understand a lot of things, probably self-aware, and even though you have all this wisdom, you realize that your life isn't changing because you haven't been applying what you learn. And that's exactly what I'm focusing on. And while I was with him, he realized as well, I'm a terrible communicator. Like, I can't even make up a question on the spot to ask him. I'm just there laughing and it just gets so awkward because I should have all these questions in my mind, but I don't. And it's because I think what happened to me was I was so focused on my growth, I was isolating myself a lot to the point where my social skills, I didn't think they ever were good, but they just stalled. And I realized afterwards that growth doesn't come from isolation. Growth is about balancing both your internal and social world, or internal or external world. Because what we do internally needs to shift to what we do externally. But the thing is, I haven't really wired myself like that. I've kind of had this identity in the external world that I haven't erased yet because I haven't been in the external world as much. And that's what I'm trying to actually do right now. So he gave me some tips, like asked some follow-up questions, and I realized now that I'm getting a lot better communicating. So shout out to him. You know? So I'm just glad he was honest with me. When I started to ask these follow-up questions, it felt so unnatural because I haven't had a deep conversation with someone like this in a very long time, or maybe ever. And it felt like I was dragging conversations on and on and on because I normally keep things very brief. I'm a person who just says yes, oh okay, no. Those are the responses I kind of give to people. And you realize afterwards you can't even build connections with people if you keep doing that. I was good at my non-verbal communication, like posture, eye contact. Like I've got this on lock. But what I didn't have was verbal communication. And that's probably why I have had many opportunities in my life and where I want to be in life as well, because I've kind of just thrown that to the side, thinking it wasn't really important. But I'm so glad that when I'm making this video, I'm actually talking like of a new version of myself. I'm talking with so much clarity. I'm talking with more tone. I'm talking at my own pace. I don't feel rushed. I don't feel pressured. And I'm talking with authority, because before I would just talk like this, and then I realize, why is no one listening to me? Because you got to have that voice projection so people actually hear you. So that's one of the stories. Second story is you cannot just be consistent with things. You also need to focus on improving on something, because I fell in this trap of just staying consistent with things but not trying to improve what I had. Like, for example, if you create a short, how can you improve the next short? What I was doing was I would make an improvement, then make 10 shorts, and then I think, what do I need to do now? Like that's too late. We always got to find ways to improve. Every single thing we do provides us feedback. And if we don't take that feedback on board, that's when our progress stalls. So, how does this connect to communication? You're probably asking. Well, I improved my non-verbal communication, but I completely forgot about my verbal communication because I thought I had my communication on lock. And we got to realize that there's always room for improvement, and sometimes you don't know what to improve on. Understandable. That's kind of what really happened to me. I just didn't know what to do afterwards. And I realize now that I need to be in more social environments. I'm very good when I'm by myself. Like, I'm very comfortable. But when I feel a lot more uncomfortable when I'm around people because I'm not used to that environment as much. So you guys probably have good communication, but you can't project it because you're not in a social environment, right? You're not putting yourself out there to human judgment, to people's opinions, because people might project at you or object to your opinion, and then you start to lower your voice like this, and that's sometimes what I do, right? I do that a lot at the moment, so I'm trying to get better at. So if someone objects me, I'm not gonna keep my voice down. I'm gonna make sure I'm projecting at the same level because I'm confident in what I'm saying. You know, I made a video on communication a couple months ago, and it's a good video. Yeah, it tells you how to improve your communication. But what I realized from that was I didn't even solve the problem yet, and I was giving people advice. You know, so I feel like this is more an authentic video because it's telling you that, hey, I don't have everything solved, right? No one has everything solved in this world, but I was more focused on the non-verbal communication as well. And I just want to clear up some things from that video. That, yes, those things helped me. Yes, 100%. But those are not the only things because you got to make sure that your internal and external alignment are the same. And that's what I'm struggling with at the moment. And once I have a solution for that, there will be a video on that. 100%. Because I feel like that's when my life will completely change. The main thing I really want to focus on this year is making sure that how I am by myself is how I am in the outside world. I feel like I'll have so much more of an impact. If that's also something you wish, comment down below as well. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video. I'm glad that you made it to the end. I'm gonna make more of these videos because I feel like the other videos I'm making, they felt like it was forced. It was kind of forced. I was also making a video the other day which I scrapped because I realized that it wasn't really my style and myself. So I feel like these type of videos, these raw ones, where I'm just venting and just talking about life to you guys and how I'm gonna try and solve these problems and stuff, is me. Is me in my current state of life. So thank you for watching to the end of this video. Hope you learned something new as well. The main thing I really want you to get out is try and make sure that when you're practicing communication by yourself, that you're also getting reps in the outside world. And in a bigger perspective is about making sure the internal alignment is the same as your external alignment, because we probably have a lot of wisdom that we're not applying into the real world, which is why our life isn't changing. Thank you for watching.